Talking to you, perhaps in one of the earliest visits to England as a manager of Barcelona, and at the end of the game I asked you, what do you think? And you had your eyes big open and said, wow, the noise, and have you seen how big these guys are? That was what, I guess, shocked you from English football then. By the sound of it, the FA Cup has got that effect on you still that is special. But what else of English football still gives you that buzz, that this area is special regarding football?
I don't know, many things. Of course, they were. I think English football is so, I would say, so wide in terms of ideas. So maybe before it was more 4-4-2, more long ball to the channels and this kind of stuff, a lot of crosses, and remains that. But then now it's completely bright in terms of many managers who is the influence in the football that now is different scenarios in different ways. I think the aesthetic is completely still is there in terms of stadiums are magnificent, all of them. The traditional ones, I can take now Fulham, for example, or Selhurst Park, or the new ones like Spurs or like Everton, so it's really cool. So the Premier League is in that time to stop. The fans support unbelievable the players, all the organizations. So maybe the owners feels more the pressure for the media than before. They are affected. So I think the big clubs is when they are stable, don't be too much attached of what the people say, you know exactly what they have to do. And I think these type of clubs are more sustainable and financially, I would say, and even in terms of success. No certain doesn't mean win the titles. It's being there, up there. That for me is a success for many, many years. And still, I think the English people have to be so proud for the competition that we have here in England, because it's top in all departments. Sometimes fatigue is there, but it's the calendar, the amount of games is not blame absolutely. It's a amount of games that there's a lot of days and few days to rest, but the part of that is top.
Obviously, John Stones is going to leave at the end of the season. He's been such a big part for you in this club over a number of years. I'm not expecting you to tell me whether he's going to start or not tomorrow, but when you're picking a team for a big final, you've got a situation like John's where he's going to leave. Are you able to put that sentiment out of your head when you pick the team, or does it come into your mind sometimes when you have to pick the team for these finals?
A little bit, but I try to be what I believe. Last game, the people start to sing Johnny Stones, and I said, okay, they pay the ticket, Johnny Stones must play. So sometimes, normally no. Normally I try to be what require the team in that moment, or the players I feel more fit, or no fit, or whatever, for many reasons.
Is that quite hard, though? Because obviously, I know you've done this job for a long time, but you're still a human being, and these feelings come into your mind.
Do you know what is hard? Today, 6 players are not even selected. 6. That is hard. And players that help us a lot to be in the final, and where we are, they are not even in the bench tomorrow. That is really, really tough. So, but unfortunately, it is what it is.
Hi Pep, it was the FA Cup last year that Nico O'Reilly first really came into the City first team. When you think about the fullbacks you've had at City and in your career, who does Nico remind you of? How does he stand out as himself?
He's so young. It's not his position, but I learn a lot. But the impact had that in this season have been not necessary to tell. So, of course, make his positions another more central, more close to the box. But his physicality, his pace, that I remember last season in one game in FA Cup or Carabao Cup. I don't remember, home against lower divisions, physicality to go and back, and I think he's a perfect player for this league.
Because physicality does seem to be such a big part of a fullback's role now. So you say left back isn't his position, but do you think it could be his position going forward? Where do you see him playing?
Yeah, today is required. Of course, you have to deal. The left back or right back, so the fullbacks have to deal with incredible talent, wingers, fast in 1-against-1, skill and abilities. They have to, in a higher standards, look the wingers from Bayern Munich, lose the wingers from PSG, from Barcelona, Madrid or Arsenal's or all the big clubs. So always they have incredible, and you have to sustain these duels. Otherwise you suffer. Yeah, they need just one brilliant action to punish you. Then you have to be there. You have to be there.
Pep, you were talking about Buenaventura and Xabi leaving earlier. I just wondered how, because obviously you've had quite a lot of coaches come and go during your time here. How crucial has it been that you've been able to replace these coaches with such sort of elite guys coming in after them? And how does that work? How do you find them?
Well, there are people in the staff in one decade. There are people that stay, and there are people that thought themselves, I want to leave, I want to step up. I didn't have any absolute conflict in any of them, and most of them said, okay, my period have a better offer economically or positions higher in other clubs, or even here people in the staff, Argument staff, go in the group, City Football Group, or in the club in other positions. So it's happened. It's normal. So the players are not the same, and the staff are not the same. It's a natural, development of the position. As much as always try to, when they leave, remember that they were in an extraordinary place. That is all. Everybody has to make this contribution to feel that the people is here or living said, okay, it was a perfect place to be in this part of my life, and this it has to be.
But it feels like the club has replaced those coaches really, really well. In the sense, if Enzo came in and Juanmar came in, and now Linders is here and things like that, they seem to have just got it right.
Yeah, but I'm not talking just about the specific staff. So backroom staff, a lot of physios or doctors are the same, but the physios and many people back and forth, people from the kitchen, for example, and people inside. There are a lot of people that live, and in that process of many years, you are attached to them because we live every day a lot of time, spend time. And when they leave, I said, I'm not the one to say, no, you have to stay. So have family, have dreams, have new perspective, and always has to be respect. And the club always in that have been, even with the players, I put the example 1,000 million times with the players, that you're not happy, you have to leave. It just knock the door to the sport director or even agreement for the other club, but you want to leave, what sense you have to stay? And the staff, backroom staff, is the same subject. You have a new ideas, you have to follow. The dreams have to be followed. You have to follow them all the time. So you cannot stay in the comfort zone. You have to have a dream. I want to achieve it because you feel you will be happy there. You will be better for many reasons. You have to go for it. It's too short. That place that we are is too short.
That's two, Martin and Jamie.
Hi, Pep. For all the goals that Erling has scored for you, he still hasn't scored a goal at Wembley. Has he ever? Has he mentioned that?
I like
to you?
this kind of questions. Tomorrow is going to happen. On the opposite side, don't ask me a question. But in that side, it's good. Tomorrow we'll score.
You were able to rest him on Wednesday night, though. You were able to give him the night off, so he's in good shape to sort of break that
I said it's the end of the season. The fatigue is always there, mentally, physical, a lot. Erling play a lot of minutes, and we have 3 days, and now 3 days, and after winning or losing, the main target after the game, rise, take a shower quick, come back to Manchester, go to sleep, because on Monday you have to fly to Bournemouth. That is the calendar schedule. Imagine, hypothetical, tomorrow we win the game, we cannot even celebrate it. We have to go home immediately to prepare the final we have in Bournemouth. So this is today what happened in this modern football. So unfortunately, honestly, but it's what it is.
And just a quick one, Pep. You were here last night for the Youth Cup final. The future of this club looks bright.
They are good. They are good players. I think the academy for a long time is working really well. So United always play really good. Happy to see in the stands Omar, Jason Wilcox, that was an important part in this club for the last decade. Both of them. Jason in the academy was incredible job. Omar, the right hand from Ferran, had been top, always in that position, and see top class players, from United. Bruno Luke Shaw, one of my favorite players, and Mason Mount, and all the players here, the manager Michael Carrick. So it was a good gesture to come here, because at the end, the future not for the City United, maybe in the future for English football, being here was class, it was top, it was nice. And of course, happy because we won. So of course.
Hi, Pep. In 10 years here, you've won 16 major trophies if you don't include Community Shields. So
18, yeah.
Okay.
Including.
Okay. Okay.
19.
I'm not going to argue with you. Is that the definition of greatness? The fact that you've won so many?
Yeah. Of course. 90 titles in 10 years is not bad.
The reason I ask is, do you almost feel like, even though you are appreciated, it's once you leave, people will say, okay, because it's almost taken for granted that you can somehow produce this, whereas there's a lot of hard work behind it.
They know that. They don't need to wait when I'm leaving. They know I've been fun. Huh? I've been fucking fun. So 90 titles, 5 for the 20 in 10 years is not bad, honestly.
And so will it make it sad for you that tomorrow is your last visit to Wembley in charge of Manchester City?
No way. I have 1 more year contract. Okay.